day, you realize through your brain also that the choices that you are going to make are good enough. But definitely studies come first till a point in time. And after you turn 18, you are feel free to take your own decisions.
How old are you?
I'm just 17. Waiting.
There's some time left.
Yeah, and actually I want to share some experience with you. आपकी जो first novel थी, I Too Had a Love Story.
जी.
I exchanged almost 3 novels for reading it in my school time when I was in 11th standard. And इतना आपका जो novel था इतना fame में था कि पूरी school में वो एक ही novel distribute हुआ था.
मेरी royalty मर गई ना सारी फिर. No, but I really appreciate, and these all are the common feedbacks or talks that I listen, that we actually fought to get that book, which end of the day makes me very happy. I know I would go against the person in me who would like to make money, but I really want to make this statement. My publishers may not like it. It is good to share the same book. As an author, I'm happy that at least 4 different people got to read my story, because that's my ultimate goal, much more than making royalties out of it. Thank you.
Next question.
My name is Feroza. Actually, Ravindra or Anuja can answer this. Nowadays, what I see is people...
Just hold the mic close.
Yeah, people get caught into romance, love, limerence. They don't understand the difference between whether they are obsessed and all of that, because I've seen it. So limerence is they don't understand the difference between pure romance, love, and limerence. Limerence is where they get a little obsessed because of the social media networking and all of that. So they have access to all the personal information and they just get obsessed by all of that. And because maybe personally I've gone through wherein, how they can actually get to know what you're doing on the social media networking and everything. So I just want to ask questions wherein how do you differentiate between all of that?
Well, I think it's very much to do with, if you're asking, if you have a crush on someone, or you're in love with them, or you're like sickly obsessed with them, they're 3 different things. And I think that the test of that, again, is it's what Ravin's already said, that it's about how unselfish is this emotion you're feeling. And if it is truly unselfish and more centered on the person than upon yourself, then that's probably a more genuine and a more healthy emotion. Because that's, I think, how you should be sort of judging how, if somebody feels like that about you, or you're feeling like that about somebody, that's the litmus test that I can think of.
Yeah, I think the way I would put it is that if we can arrive at a juncture wherein the two of us would think of we, us, ourselves more than I, you and me. I do the same with my wife also. At times we debate. I say, तुम ये करोगी तो मैं भी ये करूँगा. तुम ये छोड़ दोगी तो मैं भी ये जाने दूँगा. That's how we make a mutual decision. And I believe if at all the world still calls you, I don't know, liberal or whatever, I'll leave it to that. But it needs to go in harmony. It's again an act of reciprocity. You let go one, I let go one, we'll arrive at a decision. And you can, when you are a team, you can fight with the world outside. But then you need to be one, That's how I would put that out. So many hands. Oh, you're waiting for us to? You can give it to it. Mic to anyone.
Up to you.
Go left, right, left, right.
Yeah, but get both sides.
One of the things is that we all hunger for romance. It's a very spiritual need. And the irony of the times is that movies and literature tend to make profits on romantic stories, particularly Bollywood. I mean, that whole running around the tree scenario. But from your discussion, what really clearly emerges is that you need to have a romantic outlook to find romance. Because if you are full of yourself and you're not there for the other, then there is very little chance that romance will even, be an experience for you. So I just wanted your response to that, to how awareness of the self and maybe even spiritual contemplation should be part of the process of finding love.
That's true for any subject and just not limited to the world of romance. And to your point that love sells and Bollywood are making money out of it, I started the whole discussion with a caution that we can never sell love, we can sell love stories. So as long as the question is on selling love stories, it's perfectly fine. And when someone would sell, someone would earn money out of it, it's also fine with me. Now, to your point that I completely agree. No matter on what subject you write, you must first live and understand and experience the entire character. I've heard of stories from actors in Bollywood, if someone is playing a role of a guy from the slum, that particular actor went to that entire, Jhuggi Jhopadi and lived there for a day and then just to experience what's going on. The moment you live that time, you find 10 different things which you can now go and write about. There is a difference in being at that very moment in that time, because then you write what you feel and what you are not made to hear with your sixth senses or the five senses. This particular sixth sense, which is you are in that moment, you see the complete picture, and that what pushes at least me to write about that moment.
Yeah, I think what I got from a question was that is that you need to be very much in the now. You need to be engaging with people. Your focus needs to be outwards, at others. If you're sitting all introverted, there might be 16 people in love with you and you will not even notice because you're so engaged with yourself. So I think it's very important to have like an outward looking perspective on everything, and being involved in people and in what's happening around you and being engaged. And that's when you're engaging and you draw people towards yourself because you love yourself and you're happy with that, and so you're willing to engage with people. So I think that's important.
My name is Saloni, and I wanted to ask you, ma'am, that you work for an advertising company and you also write novels. You said you write for yourself, what you want to write. And as an advertising, you write what people want to see, what will make them buy the product you're selling.
Yes.
So in the morning you write what people want to see. In the night you go home and write what you want to write.
Yes.
How do you differentiate between the two things? Like in the morning you have a different mindset, at night you have different mindset. So how do you change,
See, I actually find that one helps the other, because advertising is such a tight discipline. You've been given like 60 seconds if you're very lucky, or 30 seconds, which is more usually the case. You're usually given a movie star, you're given a client.
Focus, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's very, very tight and focused. You're writing that little thing. And which is not to say that it's not fun. It is. But then after that, when you go to this wide open expanse and you can just go for it, and you don't have to worry about budgets or movie stars or clients or anyone breathing down your shoulders, so you write so excitedly and happily. And when you get slightly sick of the openness of it and the fact there's no one to sort of rein you in, you're very happy to go back in your little tight box and write the other thing. So it's a bit like cross-training in a gym. There are different things going on, and that's nice. I find one balances out the other. I like it.
My question is to Ravinder Singh. My name is Arpit Tiwari and I work in Mumbai Headlines tabloid. My question, I had two questions. First of all, you told about Aam Aadmi Party that you support. So I wanted to know that being an icon for the youngsters, supporting a party, what is that one thing that made you support the party? And the second thing, your book, Like It Happened Yesterday, how is it different from the other two books? Because Ravan has already got his love. So what the readers will get to know in that?
Thanks, Arpit, for asking two wonderful questions. The first question, I'm glad that you asked me. I think you answered in a way the question, and I would not say that, but if I borrow your words when you said you have become an icon, because I have become an icon, and I'm just borrowing your words, I feel that if there is something I believe in the story of I Too Had a Love Story, I brought it to you. I believe in the whole complexity of love. I brought Can Love Happen Twice to you. I believe in providing a platform to the young authors. I brought that platform to you. I believe in something, and that's what I said. It's my newfound interest. Because so far, the youth, and I've seen this, the youth was there in Delhi for what happened on December 16. If the same youth on the D-Day stops itself from casting that very important vote, all we are doing is just halla and shor sharaba. If you don't come on the D-Day to cast your vote. I wrote this one open letter to youth of Delhi on Facebook, and I was supporting the Aam Aadmi Party, but more so I really wanted to make people interested in coming out and vote. And I said, good people do not come out to vote because they believe that almost every other candidate or every other party is corrupt. But isn't the reverse also true? Because all the good wannabe politicians know that tomorrow if I'm going to stand up, good people and good men and women are not going to come out of their houses to vote for me. That's the reason the whole thing fails. My idea was to show the youth of the country, see the other side of the coin also. Today, if there is a party which stood out there, and I believe in their honesty, I have all the right to use my personal profile to tell the world I know the good sides of these parties. And why I'm interested in politics is because, let me give the bare minimum thought that why I'm interested is because I give 30% of my royalties as taxes. I have all the right to ask people, what are you doing with my money? And if I'm not happy with the answer, I want to replace you with something else which I believe in. I hope I have answered the first question. Thank you. That's the reason I thanked you before I answered this one. I forgot the second question. Oh, the second question was that what are you going to gain out of reading Like It Happened Yesterday? I'll leave it up to you. I'm not here to ask anyone. I never ask anyone, please read my book out there, go buy it. If you really want to know about Ravin, how he was doing in his childhood, you must pick it. If you do not want, you must not pick it. In the very first preface of this book, I've thanked my readers who would have spent $140 to buy this book. And I've said that in the very beginning that you might have spent this money going and watching a movie out there. But the point that you have paid to buy this book, that makes me so happy about it. I cannot tell you why you should read that book, but I can tell you why I thought to write that book. As I told you that I'm someone who believes in reliving those time periods. I wrote I Too Had a Love Story because I want to relive those moments one more time. Practically I can't, theoretically I did. The second subject is the subject of nostalgia. In this complex world in 2013 and 12, I think there are so many responsibilities on my shoulder, and so is the case with so many else. I think of the time period when life was so simple. We didn't have these gadgets, these passwords, internet to Google. Life was so simple. And I told this one or two lines that I used to feel so happy holding that 10 rupee note जो मेरी हाफ पेंट की पॉकेट में होता था. I used to feel rich. That 10 rupee आज वो 10 रुपए के 10 लाख या उससे ज़्यादा बन चुके हैं. लगता है कि अभी अमीर होना बाकी है. So it's that simplicity which I wanted to relive one more time. That's the reason I happened to write Like It Happened Yesterday. It will be great that if you happen to see your childhood days when you are reading my story, that's the only incentive that I can give you if I have to sell myself. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We had a lovely afternoon.
Thank you. Will the light go off?
Thank you so much, Vandana, Anuja, Ravindra, for such an insightful and a fun session. This is just to let you know that Anuja and Ravindra will be available outside for book signings, outside the Aditya Birla Hall. Thank you.